All right, we've got an update to the Brett Cooper saga, and things are getting even messier, so if you thought her departure from the Daily Wire was dramatic before, you better buckle up, because it's about to get a whole lot wilder. Okay, so a quick recap before we dive into the update. Brett Cooper was the face of the Daily Wire's comment section, and she announced that she was leaving the show. Fans were shocked, especially since there were rumors flying around that the split wasn't amicable, and allegedly there was some behind-the-scenes drama with the CEO, Jeremy Boring, and now her replacement is catching heat for trying to replicate Brett's style right down to the mannerisms. And just to show you how much people aren't buying it, the comment section, a YouTube channel with 4 million subscribers, is getting anywhere from 30 to 50,000 views a video, which are views that I get on this channel as of right now, and my channel is on a downturn. Anyway, so we got some big updates today. A clip from Jeremy Boring himself discussing the situation has surfaced, and we're gonna look at the clip, see what's going on. And yeah, if you enjoy, fill the comment section with metadata to help me in the algorithm. Let's just get into it. All right, so we've got this tweet here that says, extremely upsetting and distressing that Brett Cooper can't be bothered to defend Reagan Conrad, who's the new host of the show, especially since Brett recommended her as a replacement for the host of the comment section to Jeremy Boring. I only hope Brett eventually releases a statement of some kind to combat the vicious rumors. And here's the clip. I have to ask, why does Buddy got 2 laptops set up? You understand each computer can run multiple tabs, but somehow more goofy than this setup is the key that he just randomly has as a necklace. Do you get locked out that much? I feel like at that point you got to install some sort of like facial recognition technology.
But almost the entire time, 2 years, has been the producer of the show, has helped to write the show every single day, 2 episodes a day, and has been Brett's best friend. And so, some of the accusations against Reagan have been really ugly, like that she's impersonating Brett.
Well, I don't think that accusation is, first of all, ugly, and second of all, unreasonable. I think when people contrast and compare the mannerisms of the two of them as longtime viewers of the show, and they note that there's actually a lot of similarities, we're talking about the speech, the gesticulation, even sometimes the attire. Obviously, people are going to assume that they're trying to make this new replacement as similar to Brett as possible. In general, you also tend to lose an argument when you attack the argument for being ugly than rather addressing the argument itself. I mean, I'm sure he's going to do that, but just starting it off like that is a little bit not addressing people's concerns.
If Reagan seems a bit like Brett, it's because she's Brett's best friend and one of the writers and the producer of the show. She's worked as much on the show every day on what the show would look like and feel like and sound like as Brett has for these last 2 years. They've done that together. Obviously, they have a lot in common in terms of their delivery because they have helped craft the show together.
Hold on a second. So you agree with that really ugly accusation, as you just said, because you're literally saying like, well, yeah, I mean, they are actually the exact same and they do have the same mannerisms. So like, what's the point of calling it ugly if it's fucking true? And I feel like they wanted it to be this way. Like they wanted the replacement for Brett to be just like Brett in almost every single way. Same gender, same race, same speech pattern, same way to dress, same mannerisms. They essentially wanted to carry the same energy of the show, but just have a different face of it. Like they were probably assessing the risk of implementing Reagan alongside a bunch of other candidates and assumed that she was like the most fit for the job because she was the most like Brett.
Some of the rumors I saw that we sent Reagan to acting lessons to make her more like Brett, that's absolutely absurd and deeply offensive. Reagan's enormously talented. She's been an enormous part of building the comment section for the last 2 years. And I've never sent her to an acting lesson. She's never asked me to send her to an acting lesson or asked her to do anything to be more like Brett.
I mean, it's really not that fucking crazy, guy. I don't know why you're so like upset on her behalf. You do know in the entertainment industry, it's like normal to get acting lessons, or like vocal coaching is totally normal for people who want to get into radio or podcasting.
This is the greatest comeback in history.
I mean, I don't watch sports.
No, I'm talking about Skibbity.
I have some friends who have wanted to start up YouTube channels, and I try to tell them like, yeah, you have the humor for it, but there is a certain way to speak that you are not used to that you should benefit from learning. It's worth noting that this guy's entire media company, the Daily Wire, hosts a lot of shows that just like react to libs on TikTok that are offended or triggered. But now we're seeing this guy get offended himself because people have raised valid concerns about the way that the show is being handled. He's like, that's so mean to say that she got acting classes. It's like, it's really not, bro. No one's saying she's not talented. That's not the argument here.
If anything, we've told her make the show as much your own as you can while maintaining the format. But she is like Brett because they are friends and have been collaborators on the show.
I feel like this guy's been going on and on about something that was such a nonsense accusation in his opinion, yet he spent and will continue to spend time talking about how Reagan and Brett Cooper are not that similar, but they actually really are because they've been doing the same thing for so long. Like, I just don't understand the angle. The angle is like, yeah, they're not that similar, but they actually are in like every way, and here's why.
It's actually ironic because I did send Brett to various kinds of lessons as a performer, not acting lessons. Brett's a terrific actress and always, the entire time I've known her, she has been, as will be evident when you see the Pendragon cycle. But I did send her to dancing lessons and singing lessons in preparation for her role as Snow White. I sent her to dialogue coaching sessions to help her with her role in the Pendragon cycle, and that's good. That's like saying that you shouldn't send a performer to lessons is like saying that my political host shouldn't read books. They should just know everything. It should all be natural. What nonsense. You should always be making yourself better, and Brett did take steps to make herself better and better and better, and I'm sure will continue to.
So then what's the problem with people accusing Reagan of doing so? Like, if that's fine when Brett does it, why is it now all of a sudden something that you've taken offense to when people suggest that Reagan's done it? Ultimately, the amount of defending Reagan you want to do, you can do, but the bottom line is that the content is struggling, and people aren't enjoying the content. You cannot rationalize your way into getting people to enjoy the content that they no longer enjoy. Even if these are all things that you can clear up, like baseless speculations that people have, the people that you've now debunked are not going to now go and tune into the show.
And perhaps Reagan will as well, but what Reagan hasn't done is taking acting classes to be more like Brett Cooper. That is just completely absurd, and it's hurt my feelings a little bit that Brett hasn't done more to defend her friend.
This I genuinely cannot tell if it's coming from a place of him actually caring about Reagan and how her mental health has been affected by the negative comments, or if he just wants the show to have a little bit of a small bounce back when Brett says, hey, go easy on her. It's probably a mix of both, but you have to imagine, there's no way he thought the views would have dipped this bad. Here's the thing, I don't think having low views is bad if you know that they're going to be low. Like, I know which videos generally are going to get views and which one aren't when I post them, but I just don't think there's a single way he thought that almost every single video post Brett would be doing like 30K to 50K views.
You know, Brett chose to leave the show. It was her idea, her stated desire to leave the show and to leave the company. She had personally recommended Reagan to me. Before she told me she wanted to leave the show, she had personally recommended Reagan to me and told me that if she ever did leave the show, Reagan would be a great person to consider to host it, and that at any rate I should give something to Reagan because she should be on-screen talent. And the audience, whenever Reagan would guest host the comment section, the audience loved her. The comments were almost universally positive. In fact, many of the things that they're now criticizing her for in the comments were the things that they liked most about her when they didn't know that Brett was leaving the show.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, it's under completely different circumstances. Like, yeah, well, you liked me when I wasn't the replacement. Like, yeah, obviously. I mean, I assume they're talking about how the comments saying that she's similar to Brett Cooper were nice when she was, like, a substitute. Like, wow, you sound so much like her. You're a natural. But it's like, yeah, well, then when she replaces her, I can't be the only one who's not surprised that it's sour grapes. And the fact that he doesn't see the difference is a little insane. It's more insane to me that there's not, like, any sort of attempt to address the elephant in the room. Like, this hasn't dialed down, and I think if they want the show to recover, Reagan should just get in front of the camera and just spill the fucking beans. They've tried the business as usual strat, and it's not going too well, and I guess they could just continue to do this and just wait for people to stop caring, because there will become a point where people stop caring. But I feel like right now, if you want old viewers to return to the show, like, just do it. Just spill the beans.
For that reason, I know that most of these attacks on Reagan are completely unfair. They're completely disingenuous. People aren't really raising these criticisms. They're either helping to craft or buying into a narrative which has been crafted by people who want the Daily Wire to fail and want Reagan to fail in the role. And both will be disappointed because Reagan will not fail in this role. And the Daily Wire will not fail. We continue to grow and we continue to succeed. And business is hard.
Okay, so again, that's not fully true. The criticism is not from people that want the Daily Wire to fail. I'm sure some of it is from people that want the Daily Wire to fail, but to suggest that the people in the comment section of the comment section who have notifications turned on and tune into the content are the ones who no longer want to watch the content for no other reason than this vague idea of taking down the Daily Wire just doesn't make any fucking sense. The stuff that you said in the beginning of the video as things that you think are baseless rumors is is stuff that you see in the comment section of the comment section. It's not just YouTubers crafting these narratives for themselves because they're trying to take down the Daily Wire. Like, I made a video about Brett Cooper's departure from the Daily Wire. The purpose of that video was not to make some sort of elaborate plan to sink the Daily Wire ship. That's just not true.
And we'll go through it. You're always going to go through a little bit of a downturn in audience after a very popular host leaves a show. But Brett will go on and build her next thing, and she'll do just fine and continue to be very successful. And Reagan will continue to find her footing with her new role as host of the comment section and continue to thrive. And absolutely, we will do other kinds of content with Reagan. You know, Reagan and Brett are different. We did other kinds of content with Brett in the form of acting. You know, she played a very important role in the Pendragon cycle, because Brett is a very gifted actress.
Anyway, that's it from this clip from Jeremy Boring. I don't really know what else to say other than what a not good video that was. Like, the comment section channel is the second biggest show under Daily Wire, the biggest being Ben Shapiro. So you would think, or at least assume, that they'd take better care of the way they handle this, but they clearly haven't, and it's not looking great. But yeah, with that all being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you have, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace.